While many organizations make training available to employees and external users, such as clients or partners, there are times when they need to limit how much training users can purchase. Training units allow organizations to place limits on how much training is available and who can purchase it. Training units can be purchased, assigned, or made available through codes. Training unit preferences and pricing impacts how learners use training units as virtual currency when making learning purchases. To use training units as a payment method, the user must pay all or some portion of the training cost. This is designated in the cost allocation section of the payment methods. You can then enable training unit key codes, distributed training units, or both. When enabled, users with low training unit balances can purchase the remainder of the balance using a credit card or by requesting a bill. Key codes use a first-come, first-served process, where multiple users access the same bucket of training units using a code that is applied when training is purchased. For example, you can create a key code to offer free training to customers, but limit how much free training is available before customers have to pay. When creating distributed training units, you designate a user who then allocates them to others. This is used when organizations want to limit how much training users can take. For example, you can control internal training costs by assigning a fixed number of training units each month to employees in the sales division. Once the units are distributed, no more training can be taken until the next monthly allotment. Once training units are designated as a payment method, you determine which training can be purchased with training units, their monetary value, and discounts for bulk purchases. Training unit preferences can be set for each division OU. When using training units for instructor-led training, you can prevent users from purchasing a session if the units expire before the session start date. This option is only available at the top level OU. You can apply training units to all training types or only to specific LO types. You can also limit the available LOs to specific providers and subjects. Use basic pricing options to define the monetary value of a training unit for any currency used in your portal. For example, if one training unit is equivalent to $1, a $50 course will cost 50 training units. If no monetary value is set, training units are used only as tokens with no actual value. Users cannot purchase units, nor can discounts be applied to purchases. Set preferences for how users track, purchase, and check training unit balances from their My Account page. For example, when allowing users to purchase distributable training units, you can define who can purchase them. The selected users are distributors and are automatically assigned the training unit distributor role and have access to the Manage Training Unit Distribution page. You then select the users to which the distributor is able to distribute the training units. If you've configured training unit emails, you can notify users when key code balances fall below a specific level. Training unit contacts can receive monthly emails with balance information. When allowing users to purchase training units, you can provide discounts to training units purchased in bulk. Once you define preferences, you create training units from the Track Training Units assignment page. Use the standard type to assign training units once, or use recurring to distribute them at additional intervals. Select how users access training units, either through a distributor or by using a key code during the checkout process. Training units can be available immediately or on a specific date. They can also have a fixed or relative expiration date. Use availability to set the OUs or users that will receive the training units and set the amount of units to reserve for those users. When creating distributed units, select the OU or users that are responsible for distributing training units to users set in the availability section. Permissions to distribute units are dynamically assigned to designated distributors. Then, designate contacts for training units. When creating key codes, Create a new key code or apply units to an existing key code. Validate ensures newly created codes are unique. Enter the contact for the key code assignment and additional details and comments about the assignment. Determine which emails to use for the assignment, either system, custom, or no email. There are several email triggers related to training units, including when training units are created, assigned, expired, or revoked. Emails about unit balances are also available. See online help for more information about training unit emails. The Confirm page is a summary of the assignment. On the Track Training Units Assignment page, assignments can be copied or edited. You can edit the expiration date, distributor, and training contact. Expand the assignment to see additional details, such as the number of training units assigned and units still available. Select Edit to modify the training unit distribution details, including the number of units that are available. For purchases using training units, set a price for the learning object and enable training unit options. The Pricing tab shows the default price and when access to the LO expires. If enabled in Currency Preferences, you can override the user's OU currency. For example, if the training price is defined in US dollars and the user's OU currency is in euros, the user must pay in US dollars. This setting impacts users who add more than one item to the shopping cart. If items are in different currencies, the currency override must be enabled for each learning object. Otherwise, the user must place two separate orders. You can also customize pricing by OUs, set link expirations for those OUs, and set a ranking order for pricing rules. For example, users in the ABC Partner Corporation Division OU pay $75, while users in the Florida location OU pay $125. If the user is in both the Division OU and the location OU, and the rankings are different, the cost associated with the highest ranking is applied. If the user is in both the Division OU and the location OU, and the rankings are the same, the cost associated with the lowest ranking is applied. If none of the OU pricing rules apply to the user, the default price applies. When enabling training unit pricing, you can allow users to check out with the conversion rates determined by the monetary value. For example, if the training price is $100 and one training unit is equal to $1 in the training unit preferences, the course price in training units is $100. You can ignore monetary conversions and set a specific training unit price. For example, let's say the price of the course is €300, where €300 is equivalent to 300 training units. However, you want to allow users to purchase the course for 200 training units. Select the Disassociate Training Units from Monetary Price option and set the default price to 200. In addition to setting a default training unit price, you can customize pricing by OUs and set a ranking order for pricing rules in the same manner as pricing by LOs configured on the Pricing tab. If Do Not Allow Payment by Training Unit for this item is selected, users cannot purchase the item using training units. Now that you understand training units, configure preferences and set pricing to drive how much training is available to your employees and extended enterprise learners. See online help for more details on using training units.